And we welcome you to Huntington Little League for the 2025 West Virginia State Tournament, the 8 to 10-year-old baseball division state tournament. We are in an elimination game tonight in the herd bracket as Capital Midwestern takes on Madison Little League. Good afternoon, everybody. Randy Payton, Rick Marone, happy to have you along for the call here on Video Productions. And, Rick, as I said, it's an elimination game in the herd bracket, and obviously these two teams playing for their season to continue.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you get into double elimination, you get that first loss. Obviously, it's a setback for you. You got to regroup, but it's do or die now. It's win and advance, as they say. The winner of this game will advance to tomorrow night. Barbersville Little League awaiting the winner of this one, but both these teams kind of playing with house money, if you will, but a lot of excitement, but also a lot of pressure on these young kids.
Getting ready for actually going through the introduction of the starting lineups. Capital Midwestern making their way into this game with a victory over Bellington Barber in the losers bracket, and Madison surviving by defeating Westmont. And we take a break. National anthem, we'll have the lineups and come back in a moment. Final notes of the national anthem complete here at Huntington Little League as we get ready for this elimination contest in the herd bracket between Madison and Capital Midwestern. Your starting lineup for Madison looks this way. Tyler Belcher will lead it off. He's the catcher. Riston Wright. Riston Wright is the center fielder for Madison. Ethan Price will bat third and pitch. Walker Green, the third baseman, hits fourth. Luke Woody, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Hitting sixth is the left fielder Easton Eversole. Keegan Beard, the shortstop, bats seventh. Noah Ramsey, the third baseman, eighth. Cliff Nunnery, the right fielder, hits ninth. Jax Price, one of two extra hitters, will hit 10th. And Kershaw Prince, an extra hitter, will bat 11th for Madison. Eric Eversole is the manager of this Madison team. His assistant coach is Scotty Green, Jamie Prince, and Marcus Ramsey. Starting lineup for Capital Midwestern, and they just had a change. I want to make sure that I get it.
Madison, number 14, playing catcher.
The shortstop is now the third baseman. And go ahead. What we got?
Yeah, Cam Williams will move to shortstop.
Okay.
And Carter Barton over to third.
Jake Enoch is the starting pitcher for Capital Midwestern. Their lineup looks this way. Espen Taylor, the first baseman, will lead off. Carter Barton, who's now the third baseman, will bat second. Owen Johnson, the catcher, hits third. Jake Enoch, the pitcher, fourth. Reese Abshire, the center fielder, hits fifth. Batting sixth is the second baseman, River Ramsey. Jacqueline Ellis, an extra hitter, will bat seventh. Cookie Porco, the left fielder, will hit eighth. Kyler White, another extra hitter, will hit ninth. Hitting 10th is Cam Williams, the shortstop. Max Falbo, an extra hitter, is hitting 11th, and Jackson Mullins, who is the right fielder, will hit 10th, or 12th rather. Of course, everybody getting to bat. That is a rule in Little League Baseball now, and we are just about ready to get it underway as Jake Enoch getting ready to throw the first pitch of the afternoon to Madison's Tyler Belcher. He squares to bunt, and it misses high, ball one, and we're underway. Enoch, a right-hander out there on the mound. They're going to peel down to first base, and they still say that Belcher didn't offer at it. So it's a 1-ball, no-strike count. And he bunts at this one out in front of the plate, fielded by the pitcher. The throw to first is not in time, and there's a bunt single for Tyler Belcher, and that's how we get this one going here in this elimination game.
And I tell you what, Randy, a great bunt. It went back to the pitcher, but he took enough steam off of it that gave him a chance to use his speed, and he beat it outright, so that's a single for Tyler Belcher.
Riston Wright, the Madison center fielder, right-handed batter, will settle in. He squares to bunt as well and bunts at it and bunts through it, and that's a strike, 0-1. We'll set the Capital Midwestern defense for you here in just a second. The 0-1 pitch is a called strike on the outside edge, and Enoch quickly out in front of White. No balls and 2 strikes. Working out of the stretch, Enoch sets, he delivers, and it's a swing and a miss. And on 3 pitches, White is gone, and that's out number 1 here in inning number 1.
And, Randy, tell you what, the field in very good position or condition. We had a lot of rain in a short amount of time. The grounds crew was telling us field in great shape, couple wet spots, but it's out of play in both corners.
Ethan Price, the Madison pitcher, is the third batter, and he takes a mighty cut, comes up empty 0-1. Defensively for Capital Midwestern, it's Taylor at first, Ramsey at second, Williams at short, Barton at third. Here's the pitch that swung on and hit out into right field, and that is a fair ball over into the corner. And we'll have runners at second. Actually, they're going to bring him onto the plate, and here's the throw to the plate, and he's out. Looked for a moment like they were going to stop Belcher at third, but everybody kept running, and the throw to the plate is in time to retire Belcher for out number 2 as Price ends up at third.
I tell you what, great execution on the relay. The throw was right over the shoulder. He turned, wheeled, fired it to the plate, and got him.
New batter, Walker Green, with 2 out and a runner at third here in the top half of the first inning. I thought they were going to put the brakes on everybody and have 2 runners in scoring position, but they gambled and lost. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 to Green. The 0-2 from Enoch. And a swing and a miss. Green has gone on strikes. And Madison gone here in the first. No runs. 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left. Middle of inning number 1. It's Madison nothing. Capital Midwestern coming to bat. This is the 2025 West Virginia State Tournament 8-10 Baseball Division here on Video Productions. Madison threatens in the top half of inning number 1, but a strong defensive play records an out at the plate, and Madison comes up empty, and now Capital Midwestern will see what they can do against the offerings of Madison's starting pitcher, Ethan Price. Price, like his counterpart, what's up, Jimmy Tracy? Price, like his counterpart, Enoch, a right-hander, and will settle in to face the trio of Espen Taylor, Carter Barton, Owen Johnson. And if you're a Capital Midwestern fan, obviously you hope for more than that.
Yeah, I tell you, good opportunity there for Capital Midwestern defensively to kind of, fall them back. They had a runner on and hit a shot to right field, but I tell you, great defense gets them out of the inning. We'll see if they can capitalize offensively as they get their chance at the plate.
Espen Taylor, the first baseman, will lead it off. And yes, if you're wondering, his first name is spelled ESPN. We'll see if this young man proves to be a highlight reel tonight. He looks at the first pitch up high, ball 1. Taylor to be followed by Barton and Johnson here in the bottom half of inning number 1. That pitch misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Give you the Madison defense here in just a second. 2-0 pitch is a called strike, 2-1. Woody at first, Ramsey at second, Beard at short, Green at third. The outfield from left to right, Eversole, White, and Nunnery. Belcher behind the plate, Price on the hill. His 2-1 pitch is hacked at and missed, and it's 2-2.
And Randy, leadoff man Taylor, his job, try to get on base any way you can. So 2-2 count right here. He's really in a battle there at the plate.
He settled back deep into that right-handed batter's box. A 2-2 pitch is a swing and a miss. And Espen Taylor is gone for out number 1 here in the bottom half of inning number 1. And that'll make a batter out of the third baseman, Carter Barton.
And both these teams into their third game of the week. Obviously, 3 days, 3 games, and, the depth in the pitching staff is going to be tested for sure.
First pitch to Barton is a taken strike, and it's 0-1. You talk about depth in pitching. That one missing outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. That's exactly the reason that you don't want to be in the loser's bracket, because the teams in the winner's bracket getting a break today, not playing, whereas these guys are going through the meat grinder of the loser's bracket and having to burn arms just to try to simply stay alive.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you had hoped the rain would cool things off. No. You know how the humidity heats up after the rain, and that's what they're experiencing here. So it's tough going out there.
Only thing that the rain did was make things wet. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch. Swung on and popped up on the infield, and it will fall in front of the shortstop as Beard came in and looked like he was going to be there to make the play, and I don't know, he just didn't get there, and it pops in front of him, and Capital Midwestern's got a 1-out base runner.
Yeah, we'll see if they can take advantage of it. As you mentioned, it was a little but behind third, obviously, but shortstop called it off, and it fell right at his feet. So
they've not flashed it on the scoreboard. I'm going to assume that is an E6. We do not know, but they've got a base runner. Owen Johnson is the new batter, and he takes a swing at the first pitch and misses 0-1. Johnson, the catcher. Time called as he readjusts himself there at the plate, and now we're ready to go. Runner at first as Price works out of the stretch with 1 out here in the bottom of inning number 1. And it's on the outside, a taken strike, and it's 0-2.
Tell you what, Ethan Price does a good job working the corners for young pitchers, moving the ball in and out. It really makes you more effective, and he's really painting the corner on the outside.
He comes set at the belt, the 0-2 pitch, and that's behind the batter and to the screen, and that'll be a wild one that allows Barton to go on down to second base. Well, the home plate umpire had 2-2 on his hands when he signaled the count up here. They've got 1-2 on the board. The pitch, swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. So Price is now 2/3 of the way home as they try to strand a base runner in scoring position. And it'll be Enoch, the pitcher, who will bat with 2 outs, a chance to help himself. Runner out there in scoring position. That one outside, ball 1. There's a called strike, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Catcher Belcher dancing out there in front of the plate to try to make sure that Barton doesn't try to go any further than where he's at. Price with a 1-1. That one skips past the catcher into the backstop, and that will allow the runner to come to third base. Another wild pitch, and now a 2-1 count on Enoch. Price to the plate, swing and a miss. And he started toward the dugout, but that's only strike 2. Teammates remind him, and he goes right back to work on the mound. So the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Price sets and delivers and misses low, and it's a full count. Should Enoch reach, Reese Abshire, the center fielder, would bat next. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the inning is over. So in the bottom half of the first for Capital Midwestern, no runs, no hits, an error, they leave one. We played one complete here in Huntington. It's Madison nothing, Capital Midwestern likewise. This is the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Plan? No problem. Just wing it. Whether it's a 6 or 10-piece order of our mouth-watering traditional wings or our flavorful boneless wings, now get them smothered in our new garlic parmesan sauce. Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
From our made-from-scratch biscuit sandwiches to hearty breakfast wraps, Tudor's Biscuit World serves up a taste of simpler times. Now pair your favorite sandwich or wrap with a refreshing iced coffee combo. This is Biscuit Country, where made-from-scratch never tasted better.
On we go to inning number 2 here in Huntington, West Virginia. Just, are we outside of Ritter Park or are we part of Ritter Park?
I believe we're part of Ritter Park here, right past the arch, the beautiful arch there, the Veterans Arch, and with the holiday weekend that just passed with 4th of July, a lot of activities going on at different venues, not just around Huntington but everywhere. But Randy, I do see in the right field corner beyond the fence a rainbow-colored truck.
You don't think there's snow cones out there, do you?
It says Snow Biz, and I think they're wheeling and dealing some goodies out there. So
you can't come to a Little League baseball game and not enjoy a snow cone or
Shaved ice, as they call it.
Shaved.
Nowadays. Me and you called it snow cone back in the
Well,
day.
yeah.
Of course, we carried our gloves in our pocket,
Or
too.
slush puppy. I saw a slush puppy advertisement out there in the outfield. Or corn dog.
Pronto pup for some of us.
There you go.
All right.
We are going old school, aren't we?
Number 20, Luke Woody from Madison.
It will be Luke Woody, the first baseman for Madison, to lead it off here in inning number 2. Both teams getting runners in scoring position in the opening inning, but neither one of them able to dent the plate, so we're scoreless as we begin inning number 2. And Woody looks at a pitch up high, ball 1. It'll be Woody, Eversole, and Beard here in the second for the Madison All-Stars. That one's up, 2 balls and no strikes. Home plate umpire, you think he's calling a strike, but he's actually using that right arm to say the pitch is up, ball 2. Enoch delivers. Started to swing at it, but it's a called strike anyway, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Enoch delivers. Swing. And a foul tip, I think, into the mid of the catcher, and it's 2-2. Break even. Wide of the catcher and back to the backstop and a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, we mentioned everybody bats. They've also got a pitch count rule in Little League Baseball and have had for some time now. The 3-2 is outside, ball 4, and a leadoff walk. As Luke Woody reaches, and for the second consecutive inning, Madison puts its leadoff batter on base. Here is Easton Eversole. Another right-handed stick for Eric Eversole's team. I'm going to assume this might be his son. Ball 1. Glad to have you along tonight, whether you're following us on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever the case might be. A couple of games tonight, both elimination contests. Eversole squares to bunt, and it cost him a strike. They have turned out today. They are under the cover of tents, trying to avoid that roasting sun. Swing and a miss.
And Randy, big thanks to Huntington Little League. Put on a great event here, took care of us, and appreciate all that they do for Little League Baseball.
2-2, or was it 0-2? Now they've got 1-2 up on the board. I'm confused with the count, but I can tell you he's got 2 strikes on him. Pitch, swing and a miss. Foul tip actually into the mid of the catcher, and Eversole has gone on strikes.
Now up, number 12.
And that'll bring up the shortstop, Keegan Beard. Beard, another right-hander. Runner at first with 1 out. And a swing and a miss. He chased a high fastball and came up empty, and he's down a strike. That one past the catcher to the backstop. The runner breaks for second, and the throw down is wide of the bag and not in time, and that'll be a wild pitch that puts Woody in scoring position, and now for a second consecutive inning, Madison poses a little bit of a threat. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Enoch delivering. Missing in, 2-2. It's not that Enoch, Rick, is throwing all that hard. It's just, I don't know, maybe his location has more to do with his early success here thus far. 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2.
And
So
big pitch here, first base open, but you don't want to put another runner on with just 1 out.
Check of the runner and the payoff. Strike 3 called. Beard is caught looking. That is the 4th strikeout for Enoch. And that's going to bring up Noah Ramsey. And if Madison is to score here in this inning, going to be up to the young man at the plate. Enoch delivers and misses high, ball 1. 2 brackets in this tournament. This, as we said, an elimination game in the herd bracket. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. The winner of this game gets Barbersville, a traditional power in just about every level in District 1 in West Virginia. That one misses down low for a ball. And the winner of this one playing Barbersville tomorrow night for the right to make the bracket championship game. There's a pitch in the dirt, and it's through, and the throw goes past the third baseman, but good job down there by the left fielder. I believe the new left fielder is now, well, they told me 17 moved to left field, and I don't have a 17 on the Capital roster. Anyway, he was there where he was supposed to be, backing up the play. So no advance onto the plate. And now 2-ball and 2-strike count to the batter, and that's strike 3 called. And Ramsey is caught looking, and the inning is over. For Madison in the second, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave one. We're in the middle of inning number 2. It's Madison nothing, Capital Midwestern likewise. This is the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Doesn't wait, so neither should your care. Whether it's a cough, fever, or stomach bug, Access Plus is here for those urgent moments.
From bumps and bruises to stitches and even x-rays, we've got you covered with extended hours and walk-in care for the whole family.
You do not have to be an Access Health patient to be seen. No appointments, no hassle, just quality care when you need it.
Access Health, where care meets community.
Back here in Huntington, where we go to the bottom half of inning number 2, and for Capital Midwestern, it will be Reese Abshire to lead it off. He'll be followed by River Ramsey and Jacqueline Ellis.
And Randy, you mentioned the pitching rules kind of starting to get into that territory. If you go above 20 pitches, or if you stay below 20, you can pitch with no rest. But anything above that 21 to 35 requires 1 day off. So Enoch is already beyond that, and we'll see.
Enoch at 33, and Price about to deliver his 20th. It's rolled on the ground towards second, where it's played by Ramsey, and his throw on to first is in time. A little wide of the bag, but out the call from the first base umpire, and Abshire's gone. Score at 4-3 to begin inning number 2.
Tell you what, a great play. Went to his knees and then threw the ball to first base on the hop. And first baseman corralled it. He was called out, but we're going to have a timeout, and the manager wanting to get an explanation on the call.
And they're going to talk about it. Maybe the home plate umpire had a different look. Talked to the third base umpire as well. And the conversation continues. It looked like the throw was a little wide of the bag.
And they call him safe, so he got another opinion from a different view, and apparently the throw pulled the first baseman off, so He's safe at first is Reese Abshire.
That'll be an error then on the second baseman. That allows Abshire to reach, and here's the Capital Midwestern second baseman, River Ramsey. Price delivers, and he rolls it to shortstop. They'll flip it to second and get the force there. The throw back to first is not in time, but they get out number one of the inning, 6-4 on the force out of Abshire. Ramsey safe on the fielder's choice. And the batter will be one of the extra hitters on this Capital Midwestern team, and that'll be Jacqueline Ellis. And
and as you see that next time through the order, Randy, the first time through, Ethan Price really moving the ball well, but down here towards the bottom of the order, after you've seen him a little bit, they're putting the ball in play a little bit more and forcing the Madison defense to make some plays. So far they've held up, getting the force out there at second.
Jacqueline a little slow getting to the plate. The diminutive left-handed hitter waiting on the pitch, and it's swung on and rolled foul along the third base side, 0-1. Inning began with Abshire reaching on an error. He was erased on the fielder's choice grounder to shortstop off the bat of Ramsey. And now Ellis bats down a strike. Swung on, and that one rolled to shortstop. Second verse, same as the first, and they'll get the force at second, but not the double play. So Ellis is on via the fielder's choice. Erase Ramsey 6-4, and the two-out batter is the left fielder, Cookie Porco. Cookie, a right-handed batter, and slowly sauntering his way to the plate. Looks back for a sign from coach, and now stands in there waiting on the pitch. He showed a bunt, but pitch was way up and out of the strike zone, and the first base umpire on the appeal concurs with the ruling of the home plate umpire, and it's a 1-ball, no strike count. Price delivers, and that was a strike. Belcher again hopping out of there to A, run the ball back to his battery mate, and B, look the runner back at the bag. That one fouled off. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. The 0-2, way up over the catcher. It bounces off of the backstop and back to the pitcher, but that will allow Ellis to scoot on down to second base. And for the first time here in inning number 2, now Capital Midwestern with a runner in scoring position. 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, played by the shortstop, who bobbles the ball, and all hands are safe. Looked like Beard was going to try to play it and then throw to third as Ellis broke to third, and he might have had a play, but Ricky tried to do that before he had ball safely secure, and all hands are safe.
Yeah, I tell you what, a tough play for Beard there. Porco hit the ball, but it didn't have a whole lot of velocity on it, so he was going to be tough to get at first. You mentioned Beard trying to go to third maybe, unable to handle the ball first and third, 2 out.
Another of the extra hitters for Capital Midwestern as Kyler White settles in and looks at a strike. And the runner will take off to second, and they'll let Porco go. So now 2 runners in scoring position with 2 out, and an 0-1 count to the batter, White. Pitch inside and past the catcher, but it got right back to Belcher in a hurry, and Ellis down there at third base took a couple of steps toward home, but then decided, nope, I don't think I'm going to do it, and stays put. So now a 1-1 count. Price looking in for the sign. He has it. He sets at the belt. He delivers. And that one over the head of the catcher, but again, backstop not that deep behind the home plate area, and it got right back in the hands of Belcher in a hurry, and Ellis has to retreat back to third, 2-1.
Appreciate Brian Roten tuning in, one of our loyal followers.
That one in the dirt. And again, quick recovery by the catcher, and the runner has to hold, and I believe it is a 3-ball and 1 strike count to the batter. It is. White now, Cam Williams in a moment. Three-one pitch. Taken strike 2. We do appreciate Brian Roten. We're probably 2 of the few people that appreciate Brian. Actively involved in youth sports in the Vinson area. 3-2 pitch. Up high, ball 4, and they're loaded. So, Price forced to throw a bunch of pitches in this inning. Cam Williams, the shortstop, will settle in with 2 outs and the bases loaded, and the first pitch that he sees will be the 16th of the inning, thrown by Price. Bases are full for Capital Midwestern. Swing and a miss. My phone jingling, that might be Brian Roten checking in. It was. No balls and 1 strike, and the batter Williams ducks under that one, and it's 1-1.
Tell you what, huge point in this ball game. Price trying to get out of trouble again. Both pitchers have been effective doing that. But I tell you what, bases loaded, and Capital Midwestern trying to break through.
The pitch. Outside, Belcher keeping it with him at the webbing of his glove. 2 balls and a strike. If you're the catcher right now, Belcher, even with the backstop not that far back behind home plate, you want to try to do your best to keep everything in front of you. The 2-1 pitch. Hit right back to the pitcher. He fields, he throws to first, and Price wiggles off the hook and gets out of trouble here in the second. 4 Capital Midwestern in the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, 3 left. We have played 2 complete here in Huntington. It's Capital Midwestern, nothing. Madison, likewise. This is the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Made from scratch biscuit sandwiches to hearty breakfast wraps, Tudor's Biscuit World serves up a taste of simpler times. Now pair your favorite sandwich or wrap with a refreshing iced coffee combo. This is Biscuit Country, where made from scratch never tasted better.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
We have played 2 complete here in Huntington, West Virginia, and we're right where we started with Madison and Capital Midwestern. No score. And the big man, Enoch, Jake Enoch, back out there on the hill for Capital Midwestern. So we've got a couple of changes for Capital Midwestern defensively. Williams now the catcher, and Jackson's at third base.
Johnson.
Is there a Johnson out there?
Yeah, Owen Johnson.
Okay. Again, I'm looking at the wrong. I wrote down Jackson. Maybe that's why I called him Jackson. Well, there's my second mistake.
Yeah. We'll deal with you after the broadcast.
Time to go to the house, I guess.
Coming up for Madison.
Cliff Nunnery will lead it off.
And, Randy, I think you see these two teams realize it's do or die time. I think these pitchers, between me and you, they're going to go as far as they can go within the pitch count rules. But, you can't worry about tomorrow. You can't worry about the following day. You got to take care of business in front of you. And both these young men have done a great job so far kind of staying clean on the scoreboard, but it's been tough. They've both done a good job using their Houdini skills to get out of some tough spots. You know, Houdini used to be good at that.
He was.
You probably saw him a few times, didn't you?
I'm old enough, yes. That water trick, that was always the good one.
Yeah. I like the bridge thing, like where they'd hang him off a bridge and wrap chains on him. You want us to try that with you? Maybe
no,
let you.
No,
oh, you don't want to go.
I'm not nearly as nimble as Mr. Houdini. I'd be done for fish foods. All right, here we go. Cliff Nunnery to lead it off in inning number 3, and Cliff takes a hack at it and comes up empty 0-1. Nunnery to be followed by Jax Price and Kershaw Prince. The 10, 11, and 12 batters in the inning for Madison. Pitch, swing and a miss. I believe it's 1-2.
Or 0. Is it 0-2 or 1-2?
It's 1-2. He just pay no attention to the scoreboard.
And I tell you what, when you watch these pitchers, Randy, they're throwing some balls that are about letter higher above. They look appealing. Me and you have played a lot of baseball and softball. That ball looks good. It's hard to catch up to. These pitchers are both doing a good job. That high fastball is something a lot of players don't use.
2-2 pitch, misses, 3-2. That movie, A League of Their Own, with the women's professional baseball. What one sister told the other, lay off the high ones, didn't she?
Yeah, it's hard to catch up to it, but full count here. See if Enoch can get it done.
They've had the leadoff runner on in each of the first 2 innings. 3-2 pitch is strike 3 called. So Nunnery is caught looking.
I'll tell you what, Randy, within team sports in general, not to get too over the top, but baseball's the purest form. You've got that pitcher battling the batter, every time, and then your teammates are behind you. But it's a one-on-one battle in there, and Enoch does a good job. The pressure's on. He gets the ball where it needs to be and gets the out for his team.
Time called as the first baseman, Taylor, had to tie a shoe. Safety first.
Always.
Here's Jax Price. Ball 1.
That was close.
Enoch trying to paint the black, and in the eyes of the home plate umpire, didn't get it done. A ball and no strikes. That one misses high. 2 balls and no strikes. And Jax Price, not exactly the biggest guy up there. And well, I tell you what, if you're going to throw him a strike at the knees, you're going to have to pound the lower part of what would be the regular strike zone.
And very patient. He laid off the high pitch. A lot of the batter's been going for, and so he gets to a 3-0 count here and trying to get on base and get things going.
He's ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch, and there's a called strike. And ball 4. So Price is a 1-out base runner via the walk. And that'll bring up the final batter in the order. And the left fielder, Kershaw Prince, who started the game as an extra hitter but was moved into the lineup in left field. We've got time called now as manager Dallas Enoch goes out to talk to his, I would assume, son.
Yeah, and I tell you, that's a good, I think a good timeout. Give him a chance to kind of catch his breath there. Jake Enoch's done an excellent job, and get him focused on the batter. You can't be worried about the runner and get your mind out of sorts.
First pitch, outside, ball one, as they crash on the corners looking for Prince to bunt. Ball and no strikes. There's a taken strike, and it's 1-1. We mentioned the winner of this one gets Barbersville in the losers bracket final tomorrow night. That one up high for a ball. The safe team in this herd bracket is Jefferson, which has beaten Westmont and this Capital Midwestern team, and then Barbersville in their 3 games thus far. They are sitting in, as what they say, Fat City right now, waiting to see who they end up playing in the championship of this herd bracket.
Yeah, they they kind of have the format. You've got 2 separate brackets working. 2 teams will advance out of each bracket and have the crossover game for the semis.
Swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout on the payoff pitch. So we will turn the lineup over, and we'll get the catcher, Tyler Belcher. Belcher singled his first time up. Trying to keep the inning alive here with 1 on and 2 outs in the top of the third. He shows bunt and takes a strike. His single in the first inning was via the bunt. Enoch delivers the 0-1, and it's swung on and laced foul over toward the first base dugout. And Enoch out in front now, no balls and 2 strikes, and trying to put Madison away here in the third. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Enoch the pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate. So Belcher will hang around for at least 1 more pitch for the All-Stars from Madison out of Boone County. Our good buddy Joe Linville, voice of the Scott Skyhawks. I don't know if he's watching or listening tonight or not. Pitch is up high for a ball. Runner goes, throw down, and safe. Nice pick on the hop off the turf by the shortstop, Barton. But by the time he applied the tag, Price was on the bag, and he's now in scoring position with a ball and 2 strikes and 2 outs. Pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Enoch about to deliver his 55th pitch. And he hit him. Definitely didn't want to do that. He was ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and eventually ends up hitting Belcher. So now they've got 2 on with 2 outs. And Riston Wright, the center fielder, Riston White, I should say, the center fielder, will bat with 2 on and 2 out. Enoch delivers, and Wright ducks out of the way. It goes to the backstop, and both runners will advance. So that's a wild one. That will put 2 runners in scoring position, and all of a sudden, Enoch's feet again put to the fire. Pitch. Swung on and hacked at and fouled back into the screen. A ball and a strike. Nice to see WSAZ, the NBC affiliate here in Huntington, Jim Tracy, shooting highlights to show on the news tonight. There's another wild one, and again, it skips through the catcher, but Not far enough for Price down at third to want to chance it. One and one. Again through. This time the runner's going to try to advance, and that time the ball got stuck. Man, some yelling out of the Capital Midwestern dugout, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to put, well, they are going to allow the runner to score, and they're going to send the other runner to third, and then it becomes a dead ball. The ball apparently got trapped in the bottom of the backstop, and the catcher had no play. So it'll be another wild pitch that scores the game's first run. It sends Belcher to third, and it runs the count on White, I believe, to 3-1. Called strike. And it is 3-2, so it's a full count. So Madison is on the board here in this third inning without the benefit of a hit to get it done. Swung on and fouled back. The count holds at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Price reaching on a 1-out walk. He stole second and then scores on a pair of wild pitches. Again, the 3-2. And it's in the dirt. It's through. Here's the runner to the plate, and he slides in safely. And jumping up and down is Belcher as he heads toward the dugout. Second run of the inning as White reaches on a walk. And it'll bring up Ethan Price.
Now the bat, number 24, Ethan Price.
So again, now 2 runs in the inning for Madison, and they have yet to get a hit in the inning. Price tripled his first time up. Looks at a strike. He put the triple out there in right field along the line that Belcher was thrown out trying to score on at the plate. Swung on, rolled up the middle, played by the pitcher who will throw to first in time to retire the side. But it's a scoring third for Madison. They get 2 runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. We're in the middle of inning number 3. It's Madison 2, Capital Midwestern nothing. It's the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions. Madison drawing first blood by scoring twice in the top half of inning number 3, and now Ethan Price on the hill pitching with a lead, and he will deal with the bottom 2 batters and then the leadoff batter for Capital Midwestern, namely Max Falbo, Jackson Mullins, and then to the top of the order, and Espen Taylor. So 11, 12, and 1 in the batting order for Madison. Second game coming up tonight, 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one in the Mountaineer bracket. We'll pit Central Greenbrier against Mineral County in a rematch of an opening round matchup, which was won by Mineral County. All right, here we go. Max Falbo to lead it off, and a swing and a miss. Madison really ran up the pitch count of Enoch in that last inning. Enoch now at 64 pitches through 3 innings. This one fouled back, and it's 0-2. And I would think if you've let him go 64, you're probably going to ride him all the way to the end, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a maximum, but, yeah, you're going to keep going.
Well,
as long as he's able.
You know, the other part of that too is, as we said earlier, an elimination game. That one foul back and it stays 0-2. You're going to die. You better die with your boots on.
Yeah, you got to go with the pitcher. Gives you the best opportunity to get it done and advance. And Midwestern, Capital Midwestern here, got to answer. Down 2-0 now, playing from behind. They need base runners.
No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to Falbo. Swing and a miss. Chased one up high and could not make contact. He is a strikeout victim, and that'll bring to the plate Jackson Mullins. Jackson, a right-handed batter. Got a red, white, and blue bat, doesn't he? Picked the right weekend to pull that one out of the case. Outside, ball 1. Showing bunt and putting one down in front of the plate, fielded by the pitcher Price, and his throw was high, and a nice job by Woody over there at first base to pull it down, prevent the throwing error, and record out number 2.
Yeah, and that's big with top of the lineup coming around with Espen Taylor. You don't want base runners out there, potential runs. So now you face Taylor with the bases empty.
Taylor, a strikeout victim, his first time up. One of 4 that Price has recorded through 2 2/3 innings. Pitch, and he backs him out of the way with one low and in, ball 1. Tents popping up all around the field here at Huntington Little League. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Got the Dutch Miller Ballpark Pavilion down the left field line. Folks getting out of the direct sun there, getting cooled off a little bit.
Pitch, again outside. The field has a name. I have been here before. I have covered games here before, and I can't for the life of me remember who they named the field after. I can see his face. I think he used to work for Kindred Communications. Dave something. That's ball 4. So Espen Taylor extends the inning with a 2-out walk.
We'll get our research crew on that tonight.
And now time called. Eric Eversole to the mound. Price off the mound to meet him. I don't think this is a situation where he's coming to take him out. Getting a cool down rag for the catcher Belcher, and rightfully so. As we said earlier, we had some rain late this afternoon in this part of the state. And as it is wont to do during this time of the year in West Virginia, all the rain did was make it even more nasty when the sun came back out. Owen Johnson, who struck out swinging his first time up, settles in swings and grounds one into left field for a base hit, and it gets through the left fielder. The runner at second will come to third. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is out. The throw from left field, not necessarily great in the fact that there was no cutoff, but it bounced, and the catcher was able to field it in time and put the tag down and retire the runner Taylor on his way home, and the inning is over.
Yeah, I tell you what, the throw right there when the runner got there and the swiping tag, and he got him before he touched home.
A hit and one runner left, and we're through three, and Madison maintains its 2-0 lead.
Doesn't wait, so neither should your care. Whether it's a cough, fever, or stomach bug, Access Plus is here for those urgent moments.
From bumps and bruises to stitches and even x-rays, we've got you covered with extended hours and walk-in care for the whole family.
You do not have to be an Access Health patient to be seen. No appointments, no hassle, just quality care when you need it.
Access Health, where care meets community.
On we go to inning number 4. Little excitement. Second player we've seen thrown out at the plate, one for each team. And, Rick, that one big in the fact that the left fielder kind of kicked the ball around for an error that allowed advancement for the runners, but then he comes and fires a ball in from left field that didn't hit a cutoff player, just happened to be in the direction of the home plate area, and the catcher, Belcher, able to get the bounce and put the tag down and get the out.
Belcher made a great play. He had to corral the throw and then still be aware enough to make the tag. But I tell you what, you can't fault Capital Midwestern. You got to try and make that play. I mean, you got to go. There's 2 outs. You always want to try and make a play.
Tip your hat to the opponent.
Yeah, that had to be a perfect throw, as you mentioned, over through the cutoff man. Ended up being fortuitous. And Belcher had to make a great play. So no fault anywhere, just a great play there for Madison. Allows them to escape and hold on to a 2-run lead.
So it was a fortuitous bounce that took care of the runner who was trying to be circuitous.
Oh, people are Googling as you speak.
or they're turning it off.
Yeah, trying to figure out what they're talking about.
Walker Green will lead it off for Madison in the 4th. He struck out swinging his first time up, and he looks at a strike here, 0-1.
And as you mentioned, Enoch expended a lot of energy last inning, deep into the pitch count.
And swing and a miss.
Nice pitch there. He's really got to stay on top and try and shorten this inning for himself a little bit.
No balls and 2 strikes. A right-hander delivers, and he struck him out looking. He retires Green on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Green is gone, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Luke Woody.
And I tell you what, that's a nice location strikeout. That ball was out over the outer part of the plate. Again, hard to catch up. The only way you're going to hit that pitch is if you take it to right field. If you try and pull that, it's going to be hard to get a bat on it.
Woody looking for a first official at-bat of the day. As he walked his first time up, he looks at ball 1 here as it skips past to the backstop. 2-0, Madison leads as they bat here in the top half of the 4th. Pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. And he ducks under that one as Enoch misses. 3 balls and no strikes. Enoch's 70th pitch of the afternoon, and again, I think the maximum is what? 76, 75. There's a swing and a miss. 75 for 8 to 10-year-olds. So he is approaching the end of his day. There's a called strike, and it's 3-2. This will be his 73rd pitch. If he passes the 75th pitch mark during this bat, he can finish. Swing and a miss. Woody has gone on strikes for out number 2, and that will bring to the plate Eversole with 2 out. And with 73 pitches in, this will be, regardless, the final batter of the afternoon for Jake Enoch. He is hoping his final batter is the 3rd out of the 4th inning. Eversole struck out swinging his first time, and he waves at that one 0-1.
Number 6, Houston Eversole.
0-1, misses up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Enoch trying to finish with his 10th strikeout of the day, which would be a yeoman's work, as they say.
Swung on and fouled back. And you got a feel for him, too. Again, they got 2 runs off of him in the 3rd inning, but he didn't give up a hit. A little bit wild. Couple of pitches and allowed some runners to score. That one skipping past as well, and it's 2-2. Off the mound and now making the walk back up and towing the rubber. And getting set to throw the break-even pitch. Here it is. And he struck him out swinging. And the inning is over. They are retired in order. They are retired via the strikeout. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is Madison 2, Capital Midwestern nothing. This is the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Plan? No problem. Just wing it. Whether it's a 6 or 10-piece order of our mouth-watering traditional wings or our flavorful boneless wings, now get them smothered in our new garlic parmesan sauce. Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
From our made-from-scratch biscuit sandwiches to hearty breakfast wraps, Tudor's Biscuit World serves up a taste of simpler times. Now pair your favorite sandwich or wrap with a refreshing iced coffee combo. This is biscuit country, where made from scratch never tasted better.
It'll be Jake Enoch to lead it off. I think they announced Owen Johnson was going to be the batter, but you remember he got the hit to left field, and then the play at the plate, the runner was thrown out. So it's actually Enoch who will lead it off, or it should be Enoch leading it off for Capital Midwestern here in the 4th. They trail 2-0. And let's see who they do have up there.
Off the bat. Number 0, Owen Johnson.
You know what? That's because I wrote down Johnson instead of Barton to end the 3rd inning. It is, in fact, Owen Johnson. Now you know why I was retired. Ball and no strikes to Johnson, who struck out swinging his first time up. Price delivers, and Johnson looks at ball 2. That pitch, the 51st of the afternoon from Ethan Price. He's in pretty good shape. Pitch is swung on, a soft popper played on the ground by the second baseman, who tries to recover after bobbling, and his throw to first is not in time. little soft nubber off the hands, off the bat of Johnson, and the second baseman, Ramsey, having a little trouble finding the handle, and by the time that he did, Johnson's safe.
Yeah, I tell you what, they always want to run it out, and the ball got bobbled, and good job there from Johnson trying to get a rally started.
Here is Enoch, who struck out swinging his first time up, and the pitch is a wild one, and on to second will go Johnson. And you hear some of the fans trying to rally the troops from Capital Midwestern. 1-0 pitch, swung on, a little soft popper, caught by the shortstop, and scampering back to the second base bag is Johnson. There's one out.
And Enoch kind of grabbing his hand there when it hits the handle like that. It's a stinger on your hands, and he's over there kind of working his wrist around a little bit. Got handcuffed, as they say.
Abshire reaching on an error his first time up. Was initially, I think, called out. There's a throw back to second, and it got away from the second baseman. Now the runner is between second and third, and very fortunate to get back to second without becoming the second out of the inning.
Yeah, trying to make something happen there on the base paths. Almost turned into an out, and then almost the ball was misthrown on one of the attempts there, but we're right back where we started.
Swung on, hit on the left side, played on the hop by the third baseman. Nicely done, and the throw to first is high. And it gets away from the first baseman. All hands are safe. A run is in. And Capital Midwestern on the board. It's a 2-1 ball game.
Now the bat, number 99, Rivers, Ramsey.
That'll be the second error of the inning. And an unearned run, but Capital Midwestern said we could care less. We'll take it. And here's River Ramsey. He represents the go-ahead run. Called strike. Ramsey hit into a fielder's choice. His ground ball to shortstop in inning number 2 forced Abshire at second. The 0-1. Called strike 2. The very slow and deliberate call from the home plate umpire.
Keeps you hanging.
Yes, sir. Every broadcaster's dream. Price's 0-2 pitch. Bounces up there and through the catcher, and on to second will go Abshire. So he now, representing the tying run, is in scoring position. So Price was rolling along, but a couple of defensive miscues and a couple of wild pitches are trying to undermine what little bit of a lead they had built earlier in the ballgame. Pitch popped up. Man, will it get out of play? It did not get out of play, but coming toward the fence, a great big tall fence standing in front of him, and Price went as far as he dared to try to catch it, but couldn't come up with it. So new life for the batter Ramsey. See if he can make something out of it. Pitch, swing and a miss. He is out on strikes, and that is the second out of the inning.
Now to bat, number 9, Jacqueline Ellis.
That'll bring up Jacqueline Ellis, one of the extra hitters who, like Ramsey in the second inning, bounced into a fielder's choice, 6-4. Trying to strike a blow here that would tie it up for her team. Pitch. Outside, ball 1. Runner a big break from second, but Abshire doing nothing more than his Denny Terrio as he dances off of.
I don't know how many will remember Denny Terrio.
That one's up and in.
Other than me and you.
You want to clue in my
reference? It was Danny Terrio. Was it Danny?
Is it Danny or Danny?
I thought it was Danny Terrio.
It's old man Terrio's boy. And it was dance fever.
Dance fever, baby.
You had to be a child of the 70s, didn't you? That one's in the dirt. And no dancing to be done here, as sprinting toward third is Abshire on the wild pitch. And now the tying run right there at third base. And a 2-0 count to the batter, Ellis. Catcher, you got to keep it in front of you here. Belcher's got his work cut out for him. 2-0 pitch. Called strike. Two balls and a strike. Infield drawn in. They want to try to cut down that run at the plate, even with 2 out. And outside. I thought that was ball 3, but the runner Ellis going down to second, or first rather, and hit first in a full sprint. Faked the bluff to second. So a walk to Ellis. And here's Porco. Porco, who reached on an error his first time up. Cookie trying to see if he can make that deficit crumble in this at-bat, and he's hit by the pitch. Turned away from it and looked like it hit him in the upper part of the back, right at the top of his number. Home plate umpire immediately checking on him, along with his coaches. And Coach Enoch comes in and imparts some wisdom and trying to do a little medical work and get an assessment of his player. And Cookie says, "Send me to first, Coach," and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. So the stage set for Kyler White, who walked his first time up. And now we'll get time called. And we're going to get a pitching change. I'm trying to see, is it the shortstop who came to pitch?
Yep, number 12.
And it will be. Yeah, that's Keegan Beard, who will come on, and all he'll do is change positions with Price. So Price is now at shortstop, and Beard will be on the hill. So Eric Eversole, he came out of that dugout in a hurry, and there was no talking him out of the decision that he made.
Well, Price had enough room to go another batter. He was closing in on the pitch count as well, but probably getting a little bit fatigued, and you're going to have to make that move anyway, maybe bringing in a fresh arm, the route that he chose to go. But tell you what, you talk about putting a young man in a tough spot.
So, again, we saw Madison score their 2 runs in that inning without the benefit of a hit, and Capital Midwestern has done the same thing here in the bottom of the 4th. Couple of errors, couple of wild pitches, a hit batter. They've scored 1, and with 2 outs, they've got the bases loaded. And Kyler White, who, as we said, walked his first time up, coming to the plate with a chance to at least momentarily be a hero.
Yeah, trying to manufacture a run, and that's what you got to do. The bags are full, nowhere to put him. And big part of this ball game, Capital Midwestern down 1, but a chance here to really try and break things open.
And if you're the pitcher, obviously you want to throw strikes, and if you're the batter, White, you don't want to swing at anything out of the strike zone. A walk's as good as a hit here, and it'll tie the ball game. And if you're Belcher, the catcher, you got to keep it in front of you. Outside, ball 1. A lot of stuff going on in this at-bat.
A lot going on. And, oh, by the way, you're in the state tournament in an elimination game.
Yeah.
Just add that on top.
No pressure, no pressure. White showing bunt. He squared around. He'll pull the bat back, and it cost him a strike, 1-1. One ball, one strike. Pitch. Low and away, 2-1.
And the catchers, you mentioned a big-time challenge. Keep that ball in front of you. Any kind of passed ball or wild pitch could turn into a run.
2-1. Swung on and hit on the ground toward shortstop. They had a play at second, but instead the shortstop, Price, throws to first and gets the out he was looking for anyway. And Madison maintains the lead for Capital Midwestern. 1 run, no hits. There were 2 errors and 3 runners left on base. We have played 4 complete here in Huntington. It is Madison 2, Capital Midwestern 1. It's the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions. New pitcher for Capital Midwestern here in the 5th inning. It'll be Espen Taylor. And started to say Enoch will be the new catcher, but Enoch might just be out there warming somebody up. I didn't see any shin guards on him. So it will be Espen Taylor, the new pitcher. Owen Johnson is now at first base. There will be a quiz later. And it'll be Keegan Beard to lead it off for Madison here in the top half of inning number 5 as they nurse a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and Espen Taylor coming in to try and right the ship a little bit. They're back in the game. It's 2-1. And, of course, 6 innings of play, so getting in the latter innings for Espen Taylor.
Leadoff batter will be the Madison pitcher, Keegan Beard. Taylor delivers and misses high and over the head of the catcher, ball 1. Beard, Ramsey, Nunnery here in the 5th for Madison. Bounces up there. Oh, he said strike. One ball, one strike. Popped up on the infield and in foul territory. It is the catcher who makes the catch.
Now up for Madison.
And I'm trying to see who the new catcher is. Is that Williams? That's Williams. He was actually moved back there a couple innings ago. So Beard is gone. And here is Noah Ramsey, who struck out looking his first time up. Called strike. Getting to be crunch time. We're in the top of the 5th. Of course, Little League Baseball, 6-inning game. Swing and a miss. Capital Midwestern looking to rally late, and Madison looking to hold on. That's a swing and a miss, and Ramsey has gone on strikes.
Now the bat for Madison. Number 21, Cliff Nunnery.
And it'll bring up Cliff Nunnery, who struck out looking to begin inning number 3 in his only previous at-bat. Swing and a miss. Taylor has recorded 2 outs on now 8 pitches, and he's 1-1 on his third batter. I think I have figured out the ball one bulb out there on the scoreboard is out. Now it'll pop up 2 balls and a strike.
Took you, what, 5 innings to
I figured it out before that. I just now mentioned it. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Nunnery backing out of the box and now back in, waving that bat around. 2-2 to the plate. Up high, full count. Should Nunnery reach Jax Price? Waiting to hit next. And it bounces up there, and that's ball 4. So Nunnery does, in fact, reach on a 2-out walk. And it'll bring up Jax Price. He scored the first run of the game. He drew a 1-out walk in the third, stole second, and then scored on a couple of wild pitches. Swing and a miss. Runner down at first in Nunnery with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th, and Madison leading 2-1. Swing and a miss. Tried to hold up, but swung through it, couldn't put the brakes on in time, and it's 0-2. Taylor to the plate. And it hit the plate and bounces into the netting, and the runner is down to second. That hit the front edge of home plate and bounced straight up into the air, or actually up into the air and then back into the backstop. Strike 3 call. Caught him looking, and the inning is over. Madison, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1. Middle of the 5th. It's 2-1. Madison leading Capital Midwestern. It's the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 Baseball State Tournament from Video Productions.
Made from scratch biscuit sandwiches into hearty breakfast wraps, Tudor's Biscuit World serves up a taste of simpler times. Now pair your favorite sandwich or wrap with a refreshing iced coffee combo. This is biscuit country, where made from scratch never tasted better.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
Bottom of the 5th, Capital Midwestern coming to bat and running out of time. They have 2 more swings at Madison pitching.
And Keegan Beard trying to hold on to that lead, playing the role of the closer here, trying to slam the door shut. You got the bottom of the lineup, Randy. You really got to make some hay here if you're Madison, trying to get through this inning before the top of the order comes back up.
Beard came on to retire White on a ground ball to shortstop to leave the bases loaded and keep his team in front by 1. Back in inning number 4, the first pitch to Cam Williams, who grounded back to the mound his first time up, is away, ball 1. That one misses high, 2 balls and no strikes. Williams now to be followed by Falbo and Mullins. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, the last thing you want to do up by 1 in the bottom of the 5th of a 6th inning game is put the leadoff batter on. And Beard delivers a strike. So saith the umpire. 3-1. Called strike 2. Williams backs out of the box and shakes his head and now looks down to coach and 1 foot in, 1 foot out, taps the head of the bat on the plate and he's ready. 3-2 pitch. Down low, ball 4. And for Capital Midwestern, there is your potential tying run to lead off the inning, and it'll bring up Max Falbo.
Now the question is, do you try and advance that runner via bunt? Or
I think
take a pitch and try and...
I think you're close enough to the top of the order coming back around. Yes, I think you do try to move them along. No sign of a bunt, and Falbo swings
That's why
through
me and
it.
you are up here.
I guess.
Or they missed our signal.
No balls and a strike. Pitch, swing and a miss. Falbo out of the box. Back in. Just want to make contact here. 0-2. And he does, but fouls it into the screen, and it stays. No balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you what, Falbo did a nice job. That was a breaking ball. He stayed on it, fouled it off, and lived to fight another pitch.
Beard looking for the sign, has it, delivers, and a swing and a miss. Falbo gone on strikes for out number 1, so Beard is
We have number 25, Jackson
a third of the way home. And here's Jackson Mullins, grounded back to the pitcher. First time up, I think he tried to bunt his way on and was thrown out. That first offering from Beard misses, ball 1.
He of the red, white, and blue bat.
I haven't noticed how many guys on the team might use that. Or is he one of 2 on the team that has a red, white, and blue bat? It's 2 balls and no strikes. Taking all the way, and he took a strike.
Reminds me of the colorful truck in the right field.
Yes, it does. I wonder if shaved ice comes out of the end of that bat. Called strike. 2-2. Mullins tapping the head of the bat on the plate and waiting on the break-even pitch. And strike 3 called on the outside edge. And I don't think Jackson was very happy with that call.
Now, a big strike out there, 2 outs.
Well, now you turn the lineup over.
Well, they're going to have a substitution out on the base path. So Jackson Mullins goes out to run at first base.
So Mullins will run for Williams. The old special pinch runner.
Yeah, for the catcher to speed the game up. So also, get Jackson Mullins out there to use his speed.
Taylor 0 for 1 with a walk. The first pitch to him is in the dirt, and well, I'll tell you what, Mullins very fortunate to get back to the bag without being tagged out. One ball, no strikes to Taylor. He takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Taylor struck out swinging in the first, walked, and was thrown out at the plate. This one popped up and out of play, and it's 1-2. And I'll tell you what, you look at him being thrown out at the plate in the 3rd inning for the final out of the inning, and that play now looms incredibly large.
Yep, incredibly large. And he's on the mound now on the other side. He's got a chance to help himself here.
Swung on and fouled at the plate. So Capital Midwestern putting their leadoff batter on here in the 5th, but Williams, who has since been replaced by Mullins on the base path. Runner still at first. 1-2 pitch. Through the catcher to the backstop. And now the plot thickens. As Mullins scampers into second base. And now a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Taylor. Base hit would tie it up. Pitch, and he hit him. Well, it ain't the way you want to get on, but you want to get on. And Taylor slinging the bat aside. He'll head on down to first, and they've got him at first and second.
Randy, what that does on the little bit of a positive side, you've now got a force out at any base. So if you can just knock the ball down, you've got an opportunity to get that key third out of the inning.
Barton has reached on an error and also had a base hit to left his first time up. And now I'm not sure what's going on.
They may be looking for another pinch runner, this time for the pitcher. And that will be the case. So Espen Taylor comes off of first base, and they send in the pinch runner.
Well, now what?
I think we're trying to figure out who is eligible to go be a pinch runner.
I think it's 00 that's going to go run.
Yeah, the person that made the last out is eligible to go out and run.
And he started to pitch and then stop. Got people screaming balk. I don't know that you have a balk in Little League. You might have a ball. I don't know if they called anything. Pitch. Swung on. Skied to left. Left fielder backing and catching. And the inning is over. Might be the hardest hit ball we've had of the game. But Barton is retired on the fly to left, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 2. And we head to inning number 6. It is Madison 2, Capital Midwestern 1. It's the West Virginia 8-10 Baseball 2025 State Tournament from Video Productions.
Made from scratch biscuit sandwiches to hearty breakfast wraps, Tudor's Biscuit World serves up a taste of simpler times. Now pair your favorite sandwich or wrap with a refreshing iced coffee combo. This is Biscuit Country, where made from scratch never tasted better.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
On we go to the 6th inning. I'll finish my story later. Madison with a 2-1 lead, and Rick, they try to add to it in their final at-bat of the game, at least their final scheduled at-bat of the game. And if you're Capital Midwestern and Espen Taylor, you need to play shutdown right here and then give your team a chance to win it in the bottom of the inning.
Yeah, you don't want to allow Madison to add any insurance runs, as they call it, but he did a nice job last inning, came in, changed things up a little bit, and he had a couple strikeouts to get out of the inning and pop out to the catcher. So pretty effective there. Again, I have 2 batters at the bottom of the order for Madison, and then it's up to the top to Belcher.
Kershaw, Prince. I believe. Yep, that'll be the leadoff batter. Capital Midwestern coaches giving their final pieces of advice to their team, and now the throwdown and Prince to the plate. Prince is 0 for 1 and was a strikeout victim, swinging in the 3rd. First pitch. Ball 1. Prince, Belcher, and White for Madison here in the 6th. A swing and a miss. Going for the downs and coming up empty. Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes. Espen Taylor working quickly. And the 1-2 to the plate. And it's hit on the ground toward the shortstop where they play and they throw. And nice pick at first base. Trying to see who that is down there at first. Is that Johnson? Is that 00 that picked that out of the dirt on the...
Now up for Madison, number 14, Tyler Belcher.
Throw from the shortstop Barton. Nice play at first. Prince is retired 6-3. And they'll turn the lineup over for Tyler Belcher. Belcher singled in the first, hit by a pitch and scored a run in the third. He's 1 for 1 officially. Squaring to bunt and taking it back, and that one misses way high. 2 balls and no strikes. Hit on the ground, back to the pitcher. Taylor will field and make the short turn and throw to Johnson at first, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, good job from Taylor getting ahead of the hitters. Madison's aggressive at the plate, so you play that to your favor. And they get 2 quick outs and trying to shut down White here to get their bats in there to get one more chance.
Riston White has struck out swinging and has drawn a walk. Looks at a strike. If you are looking ahead to the bottom of the 6th, Johnson, Enoch, and Abshire, the scheduled batters for Capital Midwestern. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to White. Missing away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. That levels things at 2-2. 2 outs here in the 6th. Taylor trying to get his team to the dugout. And a foul tip off the end of the bat and the catcher as well, and the count holding at 2-2. Winner gets a date with Barbersville tomorrow in the losers bracket final out of the herd bracket in this 2025 state tournament. 2-2 again. Ball 3. Of course, we mentioned Jefferson sitting in the driver's seat in this herd bracket. Swung on and hit back up the middle. Played on the hop by Taylor. He turns and throws to first. And a 1-2-3-6 for the Capital Midwestern pitcher. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Capital Midwestern needs 1 to tie and 2 to win. They trail 2-1 to Madison. This is the 2025 West Virginia 8-10 baseball state tournament from Video Productions.
Plan? No problem. Just wing it. Whether it's a 6 or 10-piece order of our mouth-watering traditional wings or our flavorful boneless wings, now get them smothered in our new garlic parmesan sauce. Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
From our made-from-scratch biscuit sandwiches to hearty breakfast wraps, Tudor's Biscuit World serves up a taste of simpler times. Now pair your favorite sandwich or wrap with a refreshing iced coffee combo. This is Biscuit Country, where made from scratch never tasted better.
On we go to the bottom of the 6th, where Rick Marone, it is put up or shut up time for Capital Midwestern. They trail by a run, 2-1, and the winner moves on, and as they say, the loser goes home.
Yeah, and it's a best against best. You've got Capital Midwestern 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Randy. That's why they're there. You got Beard, who came in last inning, did a pretty good job, and it's all about the top of the batting order here. They've got to try and keep those leading batters off base and not put themselves in a bind. So it's going to be exciting. It should be. A lot of excitement here. Both these teams have played really well. There's been some great plays on both sides. But as you mentioned, it's do or die time now. Madison trying to hang on and Capital Midwestern trying to pull it out. And as you said, the winner will play Barbersville, Randy, and actually the winner of that game advances out to the finals. They take the winner and runner-up from both sides. They will cross over and play the winner off the other side. We'll go through that between the games, but huge, huge opportunity here for both these teams.
Owen Johnson will lead it off for Capital Midwestern. Johnson has struck out swinging, reached on an error, and that error that he reached on was in the 4th inning, and he eventually scored what has been thus far the only run for Capital Midwestern. Keegan Beard delivers, and it's swung on and popped up. Will it be playable? It's in foul territory, and the first baseman overran the ball. I think if you were to ask the folks from Madison, they probably would tell you that one should have been caught, but it wasn't. Not an easy play, running in and trying to, is it going to hit the backstop or not? There's a pitch up, 1-1. Again, I thought that was the signal for a strike, but he was signaling up. Johnson trying to make good on his second life. And again, the pitch up, it's 2-1. Woody made a nice try for it on that first pitch, but couldn't come up with it. Now the 2-1. Taken, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big pitch coming up for Keegan Beard. And it's a ground ball rolled foul along the third base line, and the count holds at 2-2.
Beard doing a good job. He's changing speeds, but he's also using his breaking ball, and it's kept Johnson on his heels a little bit. And with 2 strikes, he's got to be extra aggressive. So Beard trying to kind of play the mental game here.
2-2 again. Swung on and hit well back into right center field. They're not going to catch that one, and that one is going to roll all the way and finally be picked up in front of the warning track by the right fielder. And Johnson wheels his way into second, and he's got a leadoff double here in the 6th. He represents the tying run, and now the cleanup batter, Enoch, comes to the plate representing what would be the winning run.
Yeah, and Jake Enoch did a great job on the mound earlier, kept his team in the game. They had some rough innings, but he kept them in there. Now a chance to tie it up.
Pitch to him. Outside. Belcher scoops it up and then looks the runner back to second, a ball and no strikes.
Yeah, you got to be smart on the bases too. You know, you're the chance to tie the game up.
Enoch a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. And we talked about it earlier, and I know the answer probably here is absolutely not, but you don't use your number 4 batter to bunt the runner along.
Absolutely not.
Called strike.
Tell you what, great location that time from Beard, that outside corner. If you're a pull hitter and Enoch likes to yank that ball, that's a hard pitch to hit.
1 ball and 2 strikes to the cleanup hitter for Capital Midwestern. Beard delivers to the plate, and it swung on and popped up on the infield, and the shortstop, Price, will make the catch. And there's 1 out and a big first out here in the 6th. Reese Abshire, who reached on an error. Actually, he's reached on an error both times he's been up. Pitch to him. In the dirt, but a nice scoop by Belcher. Ball 1. outside, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Abshire. River Ramsey waiting to bat next. The 2-0. In the dirt. Runner coming to third. There will be no throw. And a 3-0 count. Man, the wild pitch has played big parts in this game today, and will it do it again here in the 6th inning with now the would-be tying run down at third base and 1 out?
And be curious to watch, Randy. I think you got to bring the infield in. I think you've got to play with the lead, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and cut the runner. What that does is it puts you at some angles to where any shots towards the gaps of that infield are going to be really tough to get. So if you have depth, you can make more plays. You get in closer, you can cut the runner, but you cut down your angles.
3-0 the count. And a taken strike. And you talk about pressure. How about it now on the catcher, Belcher? Everything you got to keep in front of you. 3-1. Hit on the ground, base hit, right field. In from third comes Johnson with the tying run. The ball eludes the right fielder. Here's the runner coming to third, and the winning run is at third base with 1 out.
Wow.
RBI single for Abshire, scoring Johnson, and an error on the right fielder that allows Abshire to come to third. He represents the winning run, and here's River Ramsey at the plate.
And Madison going to take a timeout.
Ramsey went up to tap the head of the bat on the plate and get ready for that first pitch, and he didn't even realize that Madison had called time.
I'll tell you what, Abshire did something we haven't seen all day. He went with the pitch. It was out over the plate. He didn't try and pull the ball. He drove the ball where it was at, and then it got through out in the field. He gets all the way to third. So just a huge clinic on hitting right there. A lot of young players want to try and jerk everything and yank it, pull it. As they say, he went with the pitch, and it paid off big time.
Now they put the run up on the board to show 2-2 here in the 6th. Ramsey can be the hero. Winning run at third with 1 out. Infield is in, and the pitch is up high, ball 1. Game on the line, season on the line for both of these teams. Pitch, foul back, and it's 1-1. Ramsey has hit into a fielder's choice and struck out swinging, 0 for 2. Base hit here, and that will all be forgotten. The 1-1. Low and away, 2-1. Keegan Beard with his feet to the fire. Pitch, ground ball, right field, base hit. Home from third comes Abshire, and Capital Midwestern with a 2-run rally in the bottom of the 6th inning comes off the mat, and they defeat Madison by a score of 3-2. And by doing so, they advance to the losers bracket final, where tomorrow night they will take on Barbersville at 7:30 here in the Herd bracket. Rick, it was played close to the vest throughout, and it came literally down to the final batter.
Yeah, I tell you what, both these teams have nothing to hang their head about. We mentioned it was an elimination game, and it was played close to the vest. We saw some great plays at the plate. We saw some great pitching. But at the end of the day, it was fundamentals. Put the ball in play, hit it where it's pitched. And they were able to get it done. Give them full credit. Capital Midwestern lives to move on, but Madison, great ball club there, nothing to hang their head about. They had a great run.
Madison jumping to a 2-0 lead in the 3rd inning. It was a 1-out walk to Jax Price. He stole second, and then with 2 outs, scored on consecutive wild pitches to make it a 1-0 ball game. Belcher was hit by a pitch with 2 outs, and then 3 wild pitches actually moved him along, and he was able to score the second run of the inning. Scott had the 2-0 lead, but then in the fourth, it was Capital Midwestern that started their comeback. They scored a run without the benefit of a hit. They took advantage of 2 Madison errors, the second of which allowed Owen Johnson, who had reached on an error to begin the inning and moved to second on a wild pitch, to score Capital Midwestern's first run. It was 2-1. They left the bases loaded, had a chance to actually tie it or take the lead in the fourth, couldn't get the job done. They had runners at first and second with 2 out in the fifth and couldn't get the tying run home, but they got the job done in the sixth inning. Owen Johnson led off with a double to right center. Enoch popped out the shortstop, but then a wild pitch moved Johnson to third, from whence he scored on the game-tying hit by Reese Abshire. Abshire with a hit to right field. The ball got through the right fielder. Abshire ended up at third on the play, and then moments later it was River Ramsey who went into the same direction toward right field with a ground ball base hit that scores Abshire with the winner. And it is Capital Midwestern that wins it 3-2. There you see the totals on the screen: 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Midwestern, 2-2-5 for Madison. And Rick, again, a great rally, and you got to feel good if you're Capital Midwestern, and your heart goes out to Madison, because what a way to end your season.
Yeah, I tell you what, a great ball game. There was a couple of miscues there that were the difference, and when you get to state level tournament play, we're in a semifinal in the losers bracket. Everybody's good. So when you make mistakes, they come back to haunt you. Both teams had some opportunities missed earlier in the game, but they didn't get their head down. They just kept grinding it out, and they waited to make the break. And, boy, the sixth inning, what a finish. They held on in the top of the sixth, didn't allow Madison to extend that lead. And then, just like I said, clutch hitting, fundamental baseball, they end up getting the win and move on to tomorrow night.
Take on Barbersville. Again, that is a 7:30 game tomorrow night, the losers bracket final out of the herd bracket. We will, in moments, move on to the Mountaineer bracket, where we've got another elimination game. It will pit Mineral County against Central Greenbrier, and that was a first-round matchup that Mineral County got the win. So they meet again for the second time in this tournament. Winner moving on, loser going home. The winner will get Bridgeport in the losers bracket final out of the Mountaineer bracket tomorrow night. That one's scheduled for a 5:30 start. We appreciate you taking in our broadcast of Game 1. We'll have the second game coming up in about 30 minutes from now, but we will step aside from Huntington Little League and remind you one more time your final score in this opening game of 2 tonight here at Huntington Little League. It was Capital Midwestern 3 and Madison 2. Randy Payton saying so long for Rick Marone here from Huntington Little League. Again, in about 30 minutes from now, we'll have Central Greenbrier and Mineral County. And until then, so long, everybody.